Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alicia Alexander, and I have the privilege as serving as the chief of the Management Services Division in the Prince George's County Planning Department. Yeah, I know that's a mouthful. I'm just getting used to saying it without stumbling. But nevertheless, I'm grateful to see all of you today, and for those who are online, thank you for taking your time out to attend this session. I'm excited to share some of the wonderful news about the project that has been months in the making, our refreshed, reimagined, and genuinely user-friendly planning department's website. Yay! Yeah, no, seriously, y'all can clap on that. Thank you. Over the past year, our website has welcomed more than 350,000 visits. That's 350,000 times that residents, developers, business owners, and community partners have turned to us for information, clarity, and support. And that number speaks volumes that people rely on us in the information that is provided on our website. And that trust comes with responsibility to ensure that the information they need is clear, accessible, and easy to navigate. That responsibility is the heart of this particular website update. Our team has worked tirelessly to redesign the site with you, the user, in mind. We've simplified navigation, streamlined application pathways, refreshed key content, and added new tools that makes exploring zoning details, development projects, maps, and regulations faster and more intuitive than ever before. So whether you're checking on a specific district, submitting an application, or simply trying to get a better understanding of the development process, the improved layout is designed to help you get you to where you need to go. But as you know, as with any website that's worth its salt, it's dynamic, in that we're constantly making changes based on the needs of the customers, and that reflects our ongoing level of commitment to transparency, customer service, and meeting the needs of our community. So without further ado, I'm pleased to turn the floor over to my esteemed colleague, Dan Hartman, who will go in a little bit more in depth of what these updates look like. So thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. So, as Alicia said, my name is Dan Hartman. I'm the manager of publications, graphics, web development, and visual media for the Prince George's County Planning Department. My team creates and maintains the visual style and identity for what you see from the planning department. And I would like to extend a big thank you to my team, and since we're discussing the website, I would especially like to thank the web team, Mbalo Abdullah, Mandy Lee, and Shannon Sonnet. You all keep our websites going, so thank you. So a quick outline for today's agenda. We're going to talk about the why we reorganized the website, what's new, what did we change. We're going to do a quick introduction of the key sections of the website, and then I'll highlight some of the resources of the website live now. I'll go over some new information groupings that may be of interest or where information that you're accustomed to accessing has been relocated. But please be assured this will not cover the whole website, and depending on who you are, that may be a relief or a disappointment. Also, I'm going to have some quick tips and ideas on how you might interact with our website, and then we'll have the Q&A. So, why the update? The web team at the planning department is dedicated to accessibility. We believe that accessibility is not just about technology. While we continually work to improve the website's accessibility through technical means, we also recognize that making the information itself more accessible is equally important. Based on the feedback we've received, we explored ways to make the website easier for users. As a result, we reorganized it into categories instead of using our internal structure. We think that this change helps users find what they need more easily and improves overall accessibility. The website now features new navigation for easier access to plans, applications, maps, and resources. Content is reorganized for simple, more intuitive navigation, and information is now grouped by categories, not divisions. Categories have replaced divisions for organizing content. We no longer have menu items and sections of the website based on our internal divisions, but based on information or tasks that are similar. Navigation is simplified with the regional community pages, northern, central, and southern. Related information has also been organized by geography rather than work program or document type. Plan 2035 elements, agriculture, and placemaking are highlighted. All applications and reviews are consolidated in one development section, which makes all of that easier to find. Quick access to GIS tools and planning data is now available. We all know the importance of data, and we want you to be able to use it as well. So, top-level navigation, which is the main organization of our website. The new top-level navigation includes news and events, communities, focus areas, development, data maps and research, and about. If you've been using our website for a while, this won't seem all that different, but like an iceberg, much of what's going on is underneath the surface. In the following slides, we'll dive into each category in more detail and highlight areas that may interest you or have been relocated to a new section. So we'll start with communities. This section provides details of the county divided into regions, countywide, northern, central, and southern, and now features information about municipalities, maps, councilmanic districts, and a list of projects in nearby areas. This menu also includes links to register community associations, find a plan or project, and the area planner's map. We've made a concerted effort to provide you with various ways to access information related to your community wherever it may be located in the county. The countywide page introduces the three regions, northern, central, and southern. It's a good overview and lets users find plans, projects, and see ongoing and completed countywide projects. There's also a map of the county to help you determine where your community is located in the north, central, or south region. And there's also quick links to often accessed information pages. Next, we'll look at a regional page. As an example, we're looking at the central region page here. The region page highlights municipalities within the region, general plan centers, and ongoing or completed plans and studies. Again, these are specific to that part of the county. Also shown here are available on many of our pages are quick links for easy navigation to other topics of interest. The project search page features a powerful research tool that allows users to filter and find plans or projects based on project type or specific region of the county. Search results are displayed either as marked locations on our dynamic map or as a filtered list below the map. Clicking on a result from either the markers on the map or the card listed under the map takes you to a detailed page about the project. Project pages, although not shown here, are highly detailed explanations of current projects and often include links to relevant documents, project timelines, public meeting notices, and presentation file surveys, and project images and videos. So you should come back and visit these active projects regularly. So those of you who are required by law to register, I wanted to just quickly highlight this page to inform you of the location where you can find it if you need to register a community association or manage member information. So move on from that. The area planner map, I actually think this is a really interesting and dare I say fun interactive map to play with. The area planner map is an interactive map that visually shows planning responsibilities for each area. You can zoom in and out, pan around, and click on different regions. And when you click on a region, a pop-up window appears with information about the assigned planner for that area, including the name and contact information for that planner. So, next section of the website is the focus areas. The focus areas select section provides details of key planning topics organized around the 8-plan Prince George's 2035 Approved General Plan elements, also known as Plan 2035 or the General Plan. Also in this area are agriculture and placemaking. Each menu item provides a brief synopsis and related plans or projects for that particular topic area. Environmental planning. For those who are unfamiliar, our environmental planners assess the environmental impact of land use plans and development proposals and help identify suitable measures to mitigate these impacts. Links to environmental applications can be found in this section of the website. Historic preservation is often a popular topic, especially on our social media, and the historic preservation team at the planning department undertakes a wide range of activities some of which include collaborating with the Prince George's County Planning Board and the Historic Preservation Commission to maintain a collection of historic resources. They also identify, designate, and regulate historic sites and provide expert guidance to promote preservation awareness. Quick links to more information about many of these things can be found in this section of the website. Okay, one of the best programs we have, or I shouldn't say best, but one of the great programs we have is the PAMC program, and you should check it out if you haven't already. PAMC stands for the Planning Assistance to Municipalities and Communities. It was created to help fund experts to help you with your Prince George's County planning projects. Not only are there links to the PAMC application in the section of the website, but there's also a list of current projects with updates ongoingly for those, and a list of completed projects. Both are worth looking at, especially if you're interested in applying for a PAMC assistance. It's a great way also to see what's being worked on here in the county. Development. This area of the website provides details related to development review, permits, and applications in one place. Much of this section remains unchanged. However, the mandatory referral review process page has been brought more forward, and you can still find information on applications and planning information services here. The development review process page outlines the steps in the review process and provides links to other pages and resources related to each process. It's a great place to get oriented to our development process, which has many steps and requirements as you progress through the development process. And for those of you that were counting, I believe I said process about 6 times for that. So the Development Application Review Tracking System, or DARTS, offers a centralized platform for managing development applications and tracking their progress. This is a much needed upgrade to our older system called DAMS. The DART page on the website provides an introduction to our new system, along with links to instructions and how-to video, and of course, a link to the DART portal itself. The applications page provides an overview of available development applications grouped by steps in the development process, with links to more detailed information in the applications themselves. I like to think of it as it's all the forms you need where you need them. Planning Information Services provides resources and support for development-related inquiries. They are the part of the planning department that deals directly with the public the most, and therefore we have tried to include as much information about what they do and the answers to their most frequently asked questions directly on the page. For example, their page includes links to submit a request of planning or zoning information, MPIA requests, requests for zoning certification, and citizen and association registration. This section provides details for accessing planning research, maps, and GIS information. There are quick links to street addresses, dashboards, and the glossary of planning terms. You can also jump over to get more information about residential and commercial permits. So PG Atlas is a free public resource that provides citizens access to geographic map layers and aerial imagery of Prince George's County. Users can navigate and print maps, measure distances, query the data, zoom in to selected records, and print mailing labels. It's very powerful, and we could easily spend an hour talking about its capabilities, but for the purpose of this presentation, I want to make sure that you can find your way to it from our website. Also, did you know that the planning department tracks approval of unbuilt projects throughout the Prince George's County? Of course, excluding Laurel. Well, we do, and we display them on this interactive dashboard. The map-based tool highlights upcoming development trends, showing where housing and commercial growth is happening. So please check it out if you have an interest in building projects that are coming up on the horizon. Planning department also has a range of GIS tools available for advanced mapping and data analysis, and they can be found here on this page. A couple of examples of some of this include the planning board development cases, where you can see the development activities scheduled to be heard by the planning board, and also the GIS open data portal, where you can download most of the GIS data that we have. Okay, planning research. This group always has some interesting facts to share. Some of the things the planning research section provides are data and forecasts on population, housing, and land use, and the economy in the county. If you're just starting to explore the interesting data that we have about Prince George's County, I recommend checking out their Planning Data Journal series on this page. This is a good introductory publication that also has value for our seasoned data junkies. Our About section. We've streamlined our About section. While many things remain the same, we included information about the organization, the mission, vision, leadership, and organizational charts are under here now. Under one heading, we have a quick links to our office locations, the planning board website, and career and internship opportunities. The How Do I section offers many ways you can join the planning department and your community, and our media center provides basic information about our organization and its members. The Prince George's County Planning Board is so important that it gets its own website, but we wanted to make sure that you knew how to find it. They are the leadership body of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission here in Prince George's County, and more information about the board can be found on their website, including details about upcoming planning board meetings and instructions on how to participate. We also have a highly talented and diverse group of people who comprise the planning department. You can learn more about our leadership team and search the employee directory in this section of the website. We make most of our plans, reports, and other publications available online for free. You can access them anytime, anywhere, download them as PDFs, or read many of them directly online with the issue viewer in your browser. No special plugins or software is needed. In addition to browsing our publications, you can also search, filter by category, and sort by date. This is another way that we like to make our work accessible to you. So, with that overview of our website, I just wanted to give you some tips and or different ways of thinking about interacting with our website, because it is interactive ultimately. So one is to use the search bar in the upper right corner of every page to get you some quick results. You might be interested or surprised in what comes up in addition to the thing that you're actually looking for. Also, check out our events page for upcoming public meetings and other ways to participate in what we're doing. The How Do I and the FAQs section are available for common questions under the About menu, and contact information is also under the About menu and in the footer and bottom of every page. We also have automated translation available for the website, although we do try and provide as many of our materials as possible with human translation into at least Spanish. We do have this available for pages where if English is your second language and you might be struggling, this can help you out. Also, in the lower right corner of every page, there's a round dark blue icon of a person in a wheelchair, and this is our accessibility menu, and it offers many adjustments to help you navigate our website more easily if needed. This includes being able to adjust text size, spacing, page contrast, and turning off images. And our last tip, use our website. The more you click and search, the more you will find. So with that, I would like to open it up to questions.
Is it possible to register a community boundary so that way you can easily search for, like, you know, a municipality or something can just like really quickly just look to see what's being planned in their area?
So I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. So you mean, is there a map that sort of shows you all the development processes that are happening in the area?
Right. So, so I'm a council member for the town of Upper Marlboro, and if we define the boundary of Upper Marlboro, is it possible that when we register our community to define what the boundary is, so that we can quickly search, you know, hey, what's being proposed in our area?
I see what you're asking. I think I should turn this question over to someone who is more authorized to answer that question.
Thank you. I'm James Hunt. I'm the Deputy Planning Director here with the Planning Department. So to answer your question, using the PG Atlas program, there are multiple different layers that are on there. So what you can do is if you can want to zoom into that Upper Marlboro area, you can actually turn on the layer for the jurisdiction itself. And then there's actually another layer you can turn on regarding development activity. And you can see what development activity has been in there as far as been approved there. Also, that's in the pipeline as well, kind of what we have already entitled for that area as well. So you can kind of see where that is. If you want to zoom in on a specific property or however you want to do it, you can all find that location there, all the information there on that site.
Thank you, James. The other thing I would recommend is you could also reach out to the planner for your area and have them walk you through that process on PG Atlas.
Dan, I saw in your presentation you showed the pictures of a desktop in addition to the mobile app. Can you talk a little bit about visually what you would see if you pulled up information on your mobile on your cell phone?
Yeah, sure. Happy to do that. So it's hard without an example, immediate example to show. But basically, our website is designed to be dynamic, so the layout shifts and changes, including font size changes and images size changes, so that our website displays correctly on any size device, whether that's mobile, tablet, or desktop. And that just happens automatically. There's nothing that you need to do as a viewer of the website. It's automatically detected and makes those adjustments as part of it. And, you know, this is pretty standard web stuff these days, and you know that it's definitely included in our web properties. Any other questions? Yes.
What would happen if someone, or what should someone do if they see information on the website that is in an incorrect place, or just overall have comments on the website? What should they do?
Yeah, so that's another great question. So you can follow the contact us information or link at the bottom or in the About Us area. And hold on, sorry, we're getting some feedback. Okay, sorry about that. You follow the contact us area, and there is a form that you can send us information to give us feedback about the website, and there's also a email, which I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but you can send us information there as well. To let us know, and then we also request that, you know, to help us out, that you include the link to the page where the issue is, so that we can take a look at that and get that fixed.
I'll include the email in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Are the accessibility tools available on all platforms, and are you able to demonstrate today those accessibility tools?
I am not set up to demonstrate those, but they are available on all platforms. This is something that is built into the website. So like if you're turning off images or changing the size of the text or the spacing between the text, that happens in the website page itself. And so as long as you have JavaScript turned on in your browser, which is on by default for most people, you'll be able to have access to those tools. And that is whether you're on a mobile device, again, a tablet or a desktop. Yep.
Would you say you've made the connections with all the different outside agencies as well that are involved in the various processes that are that the planning department like coordinates with, so say DPI and other agencies as well on the website?
Yes, we make a very concerted effort to link out to all the relevant agencies that we work with. That is often harder than it sounds, because as they are also constantly updating their website and making improvements, sometimes our links break. And so, again, that's why we also welcome feedback about the website, letting us know that a link isn't working, because sometimes we don't always know, even though we have some automation to check whether links are working. If it's no longer going to the right section of an external website, we need someone to tell us.
All right. And second question,
Okay.
How would someone request information from the planning department, such as through the Public Information Act area, or from just information, as data information from the department as well?
Yeah, so what you would do for that is, again, go to the Planning Information Services section of the website, and then depending on what kind of request you have, choose the appropriate form to fill out, or you can call the phone number that's on there.
There is a question online, and I think you touched base on it, but is there a location where we can see plans that have been filed or approved for different cases?
Yes, I'm trying to think of yeah, where is that? That's, again, you'll have to excuse me. I am not a planner, so I don't necessarily use all the data.
That's what we're here for. We're a big team around here to make sure. Okay, so on our website, there are multiple ways to do that. There's the DARTS program is one. So that's the development activity system that we have where people can actually review the applications that we do have on the website. That's one. The other portion of it, anyone can always look at our PG Atlas website. That's probably one of the most innovative and connective tools that the planning department has. It's probably one of the best tools, I will say, within the entire region related to be able to communicate development projects that are out there, that have been filed, that are in the process as well. So anyone can go on there at any point in time on either of those sites to get that detailed information of the development activity on any property here in Prince George's County. I'll say, it can go as far as if you want to be nosy and know more about your neighbor, when they bought their property, when they sold their property, how much money they paid, how much money was paid and exchanged. All these different things you can find out. You can go in there and find out if there's, on specific sites, if there's different deed information, connection to the county's website, which is what Mr. Hartman was talking about earlier. You pretty much name it. These folks within this planning department have really thought about it and put a lot of insight and a part of research, a lot of research behind the scenes to make sure all this information is out there. So any question pretty much that you have regarding the development process can be found in any aspect of the planning department. It's connected all over the place. So they have done a fantastic job to make that happen.
Thank you. This was a great presentation. Question for you. Actually, two questions. Keeping other planning departments in mind, how would you rate with respect to being user-friendly, this new website and the launch that you all put in place?
Oh, the best. No, in all seriousness, I think that we have done a great job, but a website is a continually evolving thing as new technologies come along, and over the next year, we're going to be looking at how do we improve some of the metrics of what we have. So, we've come a long way, but there's still ways to go. But I think that's always the case with a website. But I would say compared to most websites out there in general, we actually do very well.
Thank you. Great job to you and team. And my last question, with Deputy Hunt, what he just said about there's a lot of activity with respect to projects that are on your site. How often do we update the website, like the development pipeline and all the different projects?
Yeah, so some of the portal data I can't speak to because I don't manage those, but the main website property itself, I would say there are multiple updates per day.
Very good. Thank you so much.
And Dan, really quickly, can you just repeat the URL for the site?
Yeah, that's pgplanning.org. So pgplanning.org.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I was going to give a round of applause for Dan and his team. They did a fantastic job, everyone. As you know, this, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of information on our website, and it was a year taking, to kind of, as far as a Herculean effort to be able to update our website, making it more user friendly, providing a lot more information on there. In the past we had a lot in there anyway, but this team, knocked it out of the ballpark when it came to this. Just thinking about, it's not just about how we operate here within the planning department, but truly how the folks on the outside are looking at our organization, how they're able to identify and locate information as well that's meaningful for them and what they need in their research and their analysis as well. So, and a big kudos to Dan and his team on that side. I know they've been working very closely with IMD and others as well, as far as all the other divisions to make sure that information is out there as well. But thank you all for all the great work that you all have been doing here. And are there any other questions that we may have? I just want to open it up one last time. All right. Well, greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I'll turn it over, I guess, to Natalia. You have something else? Okay.
Thank you. This is a quick reminder that next session will be on January 13 at noon. And it will be an overview of the new division we have, intake and regulatory division. and the new platform that Dan showed briefly, with DARTS, Development Application Review Tracking System. We have received several questions about how to interact with the platform, so this will be a great opportunity to see a live demo and answer all the questions that you may have. So remember, the registration is open for next event, and it closes 1 week in advance. And that's it. We hope we can see you next year on the 13th. Thank you, everyone. Do you have any closing? Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.